You are a human repellent if you was anything like how I was. When I was growing up, I was definitely not someone you want to be around. I was a negative energy person. I'd had basically almost no friends for, I would say, a good 2 to 3 years of my life. And it was deserving because I was not someone who you'd want to be friends with. I was very negative. I didn't really care for my friends. I think I was just like that bully in school. I was not someone you'd want to be around. But as I started to grow up in life, I've learned the way to make new friends. I've learned the way that friendships are supposed to be constructed. So today I'm going to be teaching you a full guide of how to make more friends and improve your social life. If you want more full guides like this, click the like button, just so YouTube knows that it will be there for you on your homepage and you'll see more videos like this. Other than that, let's get straight into today's video. Point 1, seek after genuine connections. Don't chase after making friends. Chase after making genuine connections. Genuine connections will make you friends, but not all friends will give you genuine connections. This is an important thing that I've learned. I've learned that idolizing making friends or saying to yourself, okay, I want to make friends, but not trying to actually build genuine connections, I see it as it's basically an impossible thing to do. Because you're going to be trying to make friends, but there won't be friendships that last. I've seen that the best friends that I've made, they are friends that I've made genuine connections with. They are people who I've actually went out my way to try and actually be close with them and actually have an in-depth connection with them. I've seen that a lot of the friends that I've made as well, from just first interactions, we've had good interactions and good connections from day one. Because I've not been trying to just say, okay, then I'm just going to try and make friends. So if anything, I'm saying to you, take the idea out of your mind of like, okay, let me try and make friends. If anything, I wish I could have named this guide, full guide on how to make genuine connections, rather than full guide on how to make more friends. Because in my opinion, the way to actually make more friends is have more genuine connections. See each friendship as a genuine connection. Any friend who you have today, or even your family members, anybody close to you, they are close to you because of a genuine connection that you guys have, because of something only you two can have. It's not something that can be replicated. So don't see it as a thing of, okay, I want to have this many friends or that many friends. Say, okay, then this is this person, and I want to have a genuine connection with this person. And then a friendship is born. As I said, you can have genuine connections, and genuine connections will make you more friends. But not all friends will give you genuine connections. Friends, at least, question mark friends, or quotation mark friends. Because I've seen that a lot of people who you may label as a friend is not a real friend. See your real friends as people as who you make genuine connections with. The next point is take the first step. And there's two sides to this. It's going to be, don't overthink it when taking the first step. And if no one approaches you, then approach someone. So I'm going to start with the first point. Don't overthink it. I've seen that a lot of people, and me myself included when I was younger, I used to overthink approaching people. In my mind, I'll be trying to do all these type of calculations and say, okay, then this is how it's going to go, or that's how it's going to go. I need to do this when I approach this person. I need to do that when I approach this person. But I see that as only hindering yourself. You're going to just be weighing up the pros and cons, and eventually you might actually miss the opportunity for you to actually talk to that person. Because there's only so much time in the day you're going to see that one person, especially if you're overthinking it. Because I think it's a thing of, once you start to overthink it, you start to tell yourself, no, you can't actually do it anymore. And then you start to already get the dopamine hit. I've seen that the majority of times when I thought about approaching somebody when I was younger, I would already think about approaching this person and already see it as going well. And that may seem like a good thing, and it's actually a good thing, but for me at least, I see it as a hindrance, because in my mind, I've already received the dopamine. So I don't actually want to go do it in the end anymore, because from there, I only see it as coming down. If you're up, you can only come down from there. So I see it as a thing of, now there's no point of me even approaching them anymore. So I might as well not do it. So many times, because I've overthought it or tried to pre-plan of how it went, I just ended up not doing it in the first place. So for me, I say don't overthink it. Don't even think about doing it. Just say, okay then, this is someone who you've seen. You want to have a connection with this person. Just go up to them, ask them about their day, initiate a conversation, compliment them. I always recommend complimenting people when you first go talk to somebody. There's times when I've literally just been in the gym, and I've just seen someone that said, okay then, wow, your physique looks good, or I've seen that you're actually working hard, well done for this or that, or compliment on something unique. Compliment on something that you know that they've actually went out their way to make it unique about them. So compliment them on that, and then initiate a conversation and continue to talk to them. Next, if no one approaches you, approach someone. If you're used to not having people approaching you, then you should be the person that approaches someone. Don't be like, okay then, I'm going to wait for someone to come make friends with me. Go out of your way to actually try and make friends, because a lot of people are actually feeling the same way that you may be feeling. A lot of people may be saying, no, I don't want to actually approach somebody. I don't want to go and talk to somebody, because they may be scared. And this is also linked to the next point, which I'm going to lead on to. But as I'm saying, if no one approaches you, approach somebody. You never know what may come from it. There's numerous times when I've actually just gone up to people and just said, okay then, hey, how are you? ask them about their day, and continue the conversation. And for me, I see friendship as genuine connections because for me, as long as we've had one genuine connection, you will always be my friend and it will never go. Like, there's so many people who I've had one genuine connection with and I still see that person as a friend. At least, like, not like a really close friend, but a friend, because we've had that genuine connection. So I know that based off that and the level of connection that we've had, I can actually talk to you anytime without any feeling of, okay, then I shouldn't be speaking to you anymore. At least that's how I look at all situations with genuine connections. All it takes is one, and bang, I can always speak to you. I can always come to you. If I see you on the street, I'm going to be like, oh, I've actually spoken to this person and actually have a conversation with you because we've spoken before. We've had a genuine connection. And that comes with you not being scared to take the first step. Just go straight into it. If no one approaches you, approach somebody. Point number 3 is identify your fear and don't fear rejection. It's not as scary as you may think it is. And as I literally was touching upon before, it's not genuinely as scary as you think it is. There was times when I've overthought about approaching people and I've been saying to myself, oh, what if I do this or what about that? The what ifs are there to hold you back. I see that a lot in myself. Sometimes I'll be saying to myself, oh, I don't want to approach this person, or I'm scared to go and talk to this person. But I think the best thing to do is just hold that fear in and just basically cast it away and then go and approach the person. As you go to approach that person, suddenly you're like, why was I even scared in the first place? This person is a human. I think once you start to look at all humans as humans and there's no objectifying anybody, you just say, this person is another human like me. This person will live and die one day like me. I don't want to take it that far, but you actually have to take it that far. We're all on this same earth together. We all have a death date. So why would you be scared in the first place to even approach that person? This person is a human just like you. It's not like they're anything different compared to you. They eat the same way like you. They poo the same way like you. They are a human just like you. And I think for me, that's helped me a lot to look at all humans as humans and say, there's no reason for me to be actually scared to talk to this person. Once again, they are still human and they would be happy to have a conversation with you just like anybody else would. Additionally, I want to say, if they reject you, just move on. Think about the logistics. There was a video that I watched on YouTube of a guy, I think it was approaching 1,000 people in 1,000 days or something like that. And what he leads on to say is, think about the logistics. It's basically saying, think about their day. Think about what they could be going through. Because not every single rejection is because of you. Some people may reject you because of other circumstances. Let's say, for example, unluckily, you look like somebody who's treated them wrong and they want to reject you for that. That's not your fault. So don't genuinely fear rejections. Not all rejections is because of you. And even if it is because of you, once again, just move on. There are so many people out there. There's so many people out there in this world who would want to be friends with you. So literally, move on to the next person. Not every single person who you may want to be friends with will want to be friends with you. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. No one's entitled to a friendship. You don't owe nobody a friendship and nobody owes you a friendship. Point number 4 is follow up. Just speaking to someone once won't make you real friends. Continue to speak to them and get to know them. Once again, as I said, I've had genuine connections after one time and then I will still call them friends. But I think this is why I didn't say they're really my close friends, because to have a real close friendship, you must follow up. If you are somebody who has 0 friends right now, I would say this is probably the most important tip out of the whole video. Because cool, you can seek after the genuine connections. Cool, you can seek after going after speaking to people first. Cool, you can, what else did I say? Identify the fear and don't fear of being rejected. But if you conquer all these things, but you do not follow up, you will not make genuine friendships. Because after that first day, that connection will just die. All of it will just end. You won't actually build a real friendship. You will only be seeing that person once every single time you see them. And that's not a real friendship. A real friendship is when you actually message that person afterwards. You continue to speak to that person afterwards. You actually try and actually get to know this person. Nobody wants to have a friend who they only speak to once in a blue moon. Cool, I have friendships like that. Cool people have friendships like that. But that person won't be a real friend. Those people aren't my real close, really tight friends. My real close, really tight friends, I actually speak to them daily. Every single day, basically. Those are my real friends. So if you want to go out there and actually make genuine connections and make real friends, you have to follow up. Following up is extremely crucial. It's extremely important. I'm currently editing the video here with my cat. I wanted to add one thing in here, is that you don't actually have to be speaking to them every single day, but at least try and build a genuine connection, because a lot of my really close friends, as I was trying to say, I don't speak to them every single day. My really close friends, I speak to them every single day, but a lot of my close friends, I don't actually speak to them every single day. Some of that is due to like location, due to circumstances that they're long distance and stuff, but I'm still keeping in a close connection with them. Essentially, that's what you need to do. So following up is crucial, because
It's not that, okay, then you have to speak to them every single day until they get sick of you, but at least speaking to them and having enough deep conversations that you can say, okay, then I don't have to speak to you again for another week, but our connection doesn't die. Our friendship still grows. So as you follow up and build these connections, ensure that it's actually deep-rooted connections.
Point number 5 is be yourself. Be authentic throughout the whole process, because you won't be able to keep up a facade forever, and real friends will be able to see straight through it. So you don't want to be that person who tries your hardest to be what you're not, because if anything, you don't want to actually make friends like that. Anybody who you make friends with like that, when you're putting up that facade, they're not going to be your true friends. You want to make friends who love you for being you, because that's the person who you will be with and person who you will be for the rest of your life. You won't be anybody else. You won't be like anybody else. You will be like you. So you want to have friends who like you for you. You don't want to have friends who like you for the facade that you're putting up or for the mask that you're showing. You want them to like you for you. Because if you show anything else, well then, in yourself, in your own body, you will feel like you'll be eating yourself up. You'll be saying, this is not who I am. Trying to be like this person. And I've seen, even in my own life, I never used to like smoking. I never was a smoker. But as I was growing up around with and being around smokers, I was like, bunny, I'll start smoking as well. And then bang, I started smoking. I was like, but I don't actually like doing this. It's not actually who I am. I'm very sporty. I prefer being competitive and being sporty and going to the gym. So I was like, no, I'm going to stop being that person. I'm going to be who I am. So as I stopped doing the smoking stuff, I continued to get back into my roots. My roots was sporty and gym stuff. So nowadays, I try to make friends in those locations because that's where my heart lies. So be yourself, because you'll make friends who genuinely like you for you. Your real friends will like you for what you want to do. Don't try and search for friends for the facade that you're putting up. You will find real friends for your authentic being, because trust me, there are people out there who will like you for you. The next point is be there for them. Don't be selfish and only there when you need something. Be someone who people can actually come to when they're in need. Be someone that people can come to when they fall down. So I've seen that a lot of people want to be selfish and have only their needs appointed to or attended to, that's it. And I've seen that the best way to make friends is actually to be there for them, because a lot of people actually want to make friends because they feel lonely. So don't only go to your friends when you need something. Don't only go to your friends to try and help yourself or when it benefits you. Actually be there and make a real friendship with that person, because they'll feel comfortable coming to you for anything, literally anything. A lot of people make friends because, as I said, they're feeling lonely, but they're also going through things in life and they may just want a shoulder to cry on. A lot of people may not have that relationship with their family. They may want to cry on the shoulder of a friend. So if you want to go out there and make friends, learn to just be that person who has a shoulder that someone may want to cry on, and just be open about it. Be open about having close friends. Be open about attending to your friends' needs, because I think it'll be very, very selfish of you to only have friends who you go to when you need something. I see that as, what is that? That's a business partner, if anything. That's not really a friend. A friend is someone that, take away all the other things, will you guys still be genuinely together? If the answer is yes, then you have a real friend. That's what you want. You want to have real friendships like that. You want to be there for them. You don't want to just only message them when you need money, or only message them when you need something done, or only message them when you fall down. Sometimes check in with the person. And if you're not a messenger, at least spend time with that person and actually insinuate conversations where you can actually dig deep and find out how that person is really feeling. Let them actually want to tell you things. I have enough friends who have told me a lot of things, or even just call me crying, or just tell me about certain type of things. And one thing as well is, the Bible also says, I think it's beautiful to give than to receive. And I think those times where I've had friends calling me crying, or friends telling me things or certain bad things, I actually feel happy. I feel a certain level of fulfillment, because I'm like, this person actually, not like they need me, like I'm trying to hoard them, but they felt comfortable enough to actually come to speak to me about their issues. That's how you know you've built up a real friendship with that person. That person really knows they can depend on you. Be there for the person. Not when they call you and they're upset, you just hang up straight away. Or you tell them, oh, nah, this has nothing to do with me. Try and actually solve the problem. Solve the problem with them. At least be in their issues with them together. The next point is be an extrovert, introvert. And that won't make sense, but I'll explain it. Even though I said be yourself, if you don't at least try to make friends, then you will definitely struggle. You can still continue to keep yourself and be yourself, but you will basically very, very struggle to make friends if you have that one lack of confidence and you don't try and be outgoing. An extrovert is someone who is very confident and an outgoing person who's very sociable. An introvert is basically the opposite of that. And a lot of us label ourselves as introverts. I know before I used to label myself as an introvert, but now I call myself an extrovert introvert. So I still like to spend time to myself. Obviously, no one's saying, okay, your friend should be up in your business 24/7. No. But don't only aim to want to be by yourself 24/7. Especially if your target is to try and build genuine connections and make real friendships. Because no one's going to want to be with you 24/7 when you just want to be alone. Because especially you'll be admitting that. You'll be saying, no, I don't want to be around you. I want to be by myself. So who wants to be friends with someone like that? Try to be extroverted as an introvert. A lot of people say they're introverted. You can't really change that. If you're an introvert and you don't want to be around people, that's cool. But if you want to make friends, you will have to change it. You have to adopt some extrovert traits. You have to say, okay then, I'm at least try and be sociable. I'm going to at least try and be outgoing and confident around people. Cool, when you're by yourself, you can still be introverted. You can still be alone doing the things that you want to do by yourself. That's cool. But when it comes to making friends, you will struggle to make friends if you always remain introverted at heart. Try to be extroverted. Try and say, okay then, today I'm going to take the first step, as I said earlier, and I'm not going to have any fear when approaching this person. I'm just going to approach this person and say, I'm going to become friends with you from today onwards, and just have a genuine connection with them. I think I touched upon this next point a little bit, but let me go more in depth with it. So the next point is, go to places where you would actually want to make friends. Go to places and do activities where you would like to make friends. I've seen that a lot of people might want to go to, I don't know, let's say you're not a clubber, let's say you're a gym goer and you're at university right now and you go to the club expecting to make friends that you actually want to be friends with. If you know your real self is a gym goer or a sporty person, or you're a Christian and you know that you don't want to be around in those environments, you're not going to actually make friends in those environments. You may go there and make friends, but you're not going to make genuine connections because it's not what you resonate with. So I recommend going to a location where you actually want to make friends. I know that I like art, and I've started to go to the galleries a couple of times, and I've seen there are actually a lot of people there. If I wanted to make strictly gallery friends, then I could easily do it. I know inside the UK, I think it's become a trend now, but a lot of people join running clubs. A lot of people like running. So guess what? They are going to go into those locations and do things with those type of people, do this type of running club activities. So if you're a runner and you want to make running friends, start doing that. I know a lot of my friends who I've made nowadays, they go to the gym because it's an activity I genuinely resonate with. So because of that, I want to make friends who are gym goers. So I'm going to the gym to make friends. If I imagine I said I want to make gym friends and I proceed to go to the library, it wouldn't make sense. I wouldn't actually make friends I want to be friends with. I want my friends to be sporty. I want my friends to be like-minded like me. Cool, I want people who read, so maybe the library still be a good location, but I want the whole shebang, the whole entire shebang. So it's important that I actually do things and go to those places where I know those people will be. It's hard to keep friends if you guys are nothing alike and you spend no time together. So imagine you do all these steps, every single steps, but you met this person at the wrong location. You're going to struggle to make friends with them because it's hard to only be friends with somebody if you have literally nothing, and I mean nothing in common. Because eventually you'll be like, I can't actually spend time with this person. You won't want to call them, you won't want to spend time with them. And the worst part is when you start to make friends from those genuine locations, because then you have nothing to eat, all the time will be taken up. You won't even be speaking to those people anymore. So I recommend, when you want to make friends, go to the aspect of life that you want to make friends inside of, and then continue to make friends in that aspect, because those are going to be your better friends. Because one, you can actually spend more and more and more time with them than any other person. As I said before, I wanted to make Christian friends and I want to make gym friends. So I've gone to another gym now and I've made a lot of friends at that gym already. I think I've been going there for like the past 6 months and I've made a lot of friends there. And additionally in church, I've made a lot of friends inside of church. I've even brought people to church and now I'm close to them as well. So by doing that, that's where you can actually make friends. So don't aim to make friends from locations which you know you're not actually, where your heart doesn't lie. Go to locations or do activities and do things which you know your friends, or your future friends at least, will most likely be doing. The next point is, don't be afraid to reach out to people on social media. Almost everyone wants to make friends, so don't be afraid to shoot someone a DM and try to become friends with them. And I've done this before. I've done this multiple times where I've just literally been scrolling on Instagram or TikTok or something, and I've just seen someone's page and I've been like, this person's vibe, I can match it. Or even on Snapchat, I said I can match this person's vibe. So I've shot them a message and said, I've seen your content, or I've seen what the type of person that you're showing. At least I hope it's the same person, but I've seen what you're showing. Let's be friends. Literally that. Bang. If they reject you, move on. So what? If they say nah, for whatever circumstances, it's perfectly fine. I have not been rejected yet. Maybe I have not approached enough people yet, but the people that I've done it for, they're my genuine friends. Well, we're friends now at least. And the people that I've done it for, we've actually really, and you don't even need to meet them. Like, a couple of my friends, I've not actually met them yet. But I still message them and still talk to them like we've been best friends for, 15 years. One of my really close friends, I've never met her before. But we still FaceTime, we still talk, we still message, I still ask about how uni and stuff is going. Because it's about not being scared to actually shoot people a message. Around that time, we actually became friends in lockdown. But still, a lot of people want to become friends. A lot of people need friends. So don't just see it as a thing of, okay, I need to do it in person. Because enough people make friends online and then actually, after spending a lot of time together, then they become friends. I saw a wholesome clip of this guy. I think he had a lot of gamer friends. And then one day, all of them just randomly decided to pull up to his house. And they planned it with his wife or something like that. And then they went and met him at his house. Something like that is beautiful. He never met these people initially. One day he just gamed with them and then they all came to his house. So don't be scared to make friends on social media. Some of the people who you make friends with online, they will actually become your long-term friends. Not every single person you meet in real life will become a long-term friend. But some of the people who you meet online, you can become really good friends with them. The next point is make mutual friends. If you have a friend who finds it easier to make friends, try to make friends with their friends too. And I've seen a lot of my friends do that with me. I find it very easy to make friends. Not to humble brag, but I find it very easy to make friends. But some of my friends, they don't find it easy to make friends. So whenever I make a friend, I'm like, no, this person will actually be good friends with this person. So I say, okay, you guys go and talk. Or, for example, some of my friends who I spend time with, they just be like, okay then. And I just see them start making friends with another person who I've made friends with. Because when you know that you're somebody somebody who's easy to make friends with other people, just latch onto the other person because you know that person can actually do the hard work for you. If you struggle to go and approach people, but that person doesn't, maybe that person may struggle with retaining friends, but you're actually better at retaining friends. So as they come and meet a lot of people, well, maybe there's someone who catches your eye and you're like, okay, then I actually want to spend time with this person. And then bang, you start being friends with this person. So it's not a thing of, okay, you're going to try and steal all of their friends or something like that. But make mutual friends, especially if it's someone who you actually resonate with or really like spending time with. There is no issue with you making friends with their friends. There is no issue with you trying to spend time with other people who are just like them. So go and do it. It's basically niching down already. It's easier. If imagine you go to the gym and you know there's this one guy who you've been spending a lot of time with inside the gym. You guys train together sometimes. Then randomly you see this guy pull up with a group of friends. But then you know at least that some of those people will be like him. Hopefully they'll be like him. Well, then you can start training with those guys too. And then you can make more friends and more friends. The majority of friends who I've made in the gym, I've made them through meeting one person. Then that person showed me another person. Then that person showed me another person. And it just continued. And then suddenly you know everyone inside the gym. So it starts like that. Just make mutual friends. Meet someone who's really good at making friends, or have a friend who's already really good with making friends, and be friends with their friends. So point number 10, people feed off energy. So be positive. If you only exert negative energy, people won't want to be around you. Life is already stressful. People don't want more stress around them. They want the happy and bubbly person to make them forget their issues. And I have a friend who, and I always tell her this, or tell people about her, that whenever I'm around her, she just makes me happy because she's just a bubbly person. She could be going through madnesses in life and you wouldn't even know because she's just bubbly and very happy. That's just her personality. And someone like that, she'll find it easy to make friends, and she does. And that's how I at least try and show myself as well, because I don't really wear my stresses and my pains on my sleeve. I make a lot of people just see me as a very bubbly and happy person, because nobody wants to be friends with a person who always looks like they're going through something. Because trust me, if you make friends with someone who is going through something, you will next start going through something. So be somebody who is very happy. Show positive energy. Be a positive person, because people want to make friends with positive people. If people see you smiling, if you're building a personal brand and you can see that you're always putting up like positive pictures, you're always looking happy, you will see that a lot of people want to be friends with you, because people are hungry for that positivity. People are hungry for happiness. So if they see that you are a happy person and somebody who people want to spend time with, well then people are going to desire to spend time with you too. So as I said, be a positive person, be an optimistic person, and trust me, you will find it a lot easier to make friends. The penultimate point is, don't just speak, listen. A lot of the time we want to be the ones that are heard, but everybody wants to be heard. Friends take the time to listen to one another. And I've seen that a lot of the time, even me myself, I can struggle with this sometimes. I can go into a conversation and want to be the only person that speaks. But a lot of people actually want to be heard. I know the other person that I'm most likely speaking to wants to be heard too. They want their opinions to be evaluated. If you only speak, you are invaluing what the other person might be saying. And with that mindset, you will definitely struggle to make friends. I've seen that the best times and the best way that I've made friends is by humbling myself and saying, no, I'm going to let this other person speak, and not trying to overvalue myself compared to them. Because other people, as I said, people want to speak. The same way that you want to speak, somebody else wants to speak. And the same way that you want to be heard, somebody else wants to be heard. So always try and be the gentleman inside of a conversation. And just let the other person go first. Let the other person say what they need to say. And then jump in. Wait for them to finish and then start speaking. Don't speak. No, what is it? I think what's the saying? Don't listen to speak. Listen to actually let them be heard. Let me say it one more time. Don't listen to speak. Listen so that the person can feel heard. Because if you only speak, if you only listen so that you can say something, that person won't even think you heard them. Imagine someone is telling you about apples and then you proceed to start talking to them about oranges. You never actually heard what they were saying. You never actually listened. They won't feel like you actually heard them. And no one will want to be friends with somebody like that. You won't actually have in-depth conversations, because I've seen the best conversations that I've had with my friends is when we bounce off each other. Pause. They may say something because they feel like they've been heard. They've actually been heard. So you don't want it to be a thing of, okay, then you just listen to them so that, okay, then you can give your own response. Actually taking what they said. Even sometimes adopt the pause. Pause and wait. Okay, it's marinated, and then answer. Don't just instantly straight away answer, because it will show you've never actually been attentive. You never actually listened to what they were saying. You just took in what they said and then you wanted to say your own response. So be a friend who, when someone's talking to you, you wait, you take in what they said, and then you give a viable response. And then you continue to say on what you wanted to say. And finally, experience builds confidence. The first few times it will be scary, but after a while, you get used to it. And then you'll be making friends daily. And I've seen that I make friends daily, because I have genuine connections daily. Every single time I go somewhere, I try and seek after a connection and actually try and make friends. Because I think life is too boring if you only spend time with the same people for the rest of your life. Because there's so many people out there with so many stories that you can actually have a great conversation with. So don't only aim to just stay niche down with your friends, or I think they call it a clique. Don't only aim to just be in a clique. Actually aim to speak to so many people, because there's so many different people out there. And experience will help you do that. As I said, because the first few times you'll be scared. I'm not going to lie to you and say, yeah, from today you'll have the confidence of going to approach people just straight off the bat. The first few times you'll be scared. But as you continue to do it, then you'll get more confident. Because there's a saying that progression builds motivation. So I'm also going to say experience builds confidence. The more experience you are in that aspect, the more confidence you have. The more experience you have in talking to different people, the more you'll get used to being rejected. So you'll no longer be scared of being rejected. The more that you'll get used to taking the first step, you will always be ready to take the first step. So as you start to do these things, the more and more and more you do it, the better and better you'll get at it. And then you'll start seeing that you can make better friends and more friends and better friends and more friends. In conclusion, I think the main things is that don't be scared to make friends. Don't hold yourself back. Anybody can make friends. Just some of these tips are just things that I was thinking about, and I went out and done research about as well. Ways that you can make friends. There are so many other ways you can make friends. So find out what works for you and stick to it. Just keep doing that and then continue to make friends. If you see that you find it easy to make friends, well then continue to do those things. If you know that you struggle, cool. Take some of these points with you and then continue and try them and actually implement them into your life. In fact, I'm going to say something. I want you to go through all these points. If you know you struggle with making friends, once again, take notes of all these points and comment down the number one point that you're going to use. And actually, I want you to implement it from today. Whether it's following up with somebody who you've already spoke to, or whether it's identifying the fear that you feel in your heart, identifying the fear that you fear of being rejected, identifying anything. Maybe you are somebody who only speaks and you don't listen to people. Find out what it is and write it down. I want you to comment it down, which point and which tip it is that you're going to take, and I want you to implement it from today. Other than that, thank you for watching. It's been a great video. Hopefully this video actually helps somebody and actually use this and take it with you to try and make more friends and improve your social life. Other than that, please subscribe. It will definitely help the channel. And other than that, thank you for tuning in. It's been Dearenee. Stay blessed.